Vitamin IV therapies are a part of a popular health and wellness trend spreading across the U.S. On today's episode, I chat with Jon Hurley, founder of Lexington-based company Renew Hydration. We will compare vitamin IV therapies' pros and cons, side effects, and cost. Renew Hydration is first responder and physician-owned. Their mission is to provide clean, professional, on-demand IV services when you need them and where you need them. They get you hydrated and replenished so you can feel your best. After today's episode, you'll know more about the treatments available and can decide which treatment is best for you. You're listening to The Wedding Whisperer with Sarah Burton of Simply Love Studio in Lexington, Kentucky. What made you want to start this business?
So it's a funny story because I had some friends who had a very new baby. About 2 months into that, they got mom and dad's first night away from baby, and they enjoyed themselves. And they called me up the next morning and said, we overdid it. We need help. What can you do for us? And I've been a paramedic for some time at that point, and gave them some fluids and some nausea meds and some headache meds. And they looked at me afterward and they were like, you need to do this business. You're good at it, and it's something people need that's not accessible anywhere else. So it started in a garage with some friends who had a little too much freedom one night and has blossomed from there.
It's crazy to think that so many businesses start like that. It's just an idea and you know a little bit about something and somebody calls for help. That's exactly how my business started. Absolutely. In 2008, and here I am however many years later.
And you try to make it as smooth and as hassle-free as you can. And
I don't necessarily want to use the word craze, but I do feel like this particular industry has become a craze. We
Absolutely.
See it everywhere now. How did it start in like California and work its way here?
By the time that I picked up that this was an industry, a sector to look into, it was well established other places. You could easily go to Nashville, and these places have a mobile bus, the water wagon that will show up to wherever you're at and provide these services. I feel like after and during COVID, people got really, really health conscious, and that's what we wanted to try to market towards as well. Not just fixing your hangovers, right? We want to, antioxidants and vitamins and hydration to get you through and back to feeling yourself. So I think we saw this shift after COVID that people were really, really health conscious, which makes total sense. But these places, by the time I learned this was even a thing, they were well established in most destination type places.
Okay. And if somebody is listening and they have absolutely no idea what we are talking about right now when it comes to hydration, explain to them what exactly it is and how it works.
So we are at our core a mobile IV therapy company. We can fill a lot of different roles to help you with different things, but we are essentially an on-demand concierge service. We come to you. We can establish an IV and provide you with electrolytes, vitamins, minerals, and fluids, certain medications as well to fix whatever is ailing you, whether that be the stomach bug that hit really, really bad this winter, flu, COVID, general dehydration from being outside too much, jet lag. We get a lot of athletes that run half marathons and things. And so if you can think of it, we have a niche for it. One of the really surprising populations that we found were expecting mothers. They are, sick all the time, vomiting and miserable. My wife was absolutely one of them. Their only option is to go to an ER. And again, especially during COVID, that was a very big risk to take. They would go to the ER, they would wait 8 hours because it wasn't an emergency and pay a lot of money. And so we have a lot of expecting mothers that will routinely call us once a month or more just for a little pick-me-up, a little, top off. So
okay, so you go to people's houses, their workplace?
Absolutely. Hotels, your wedding venues. We've done derby parties, weddings. If you are there, we'll be there.
Okay. And then for an IV, how long does it take for the process, like start to finish, to get one?
We take our time. We use very small equipment, very small needles and things. We're here for your comfort and not for, our fast service. A couple things, depending how easy of an IV stick you are, we tend to be in and out in less than an hour. That's pretty common, pretty safe bet, less than an hour. Some people just have really nice veins and it makes things easier.
Is there a particular kind of IV that is the most popular or one that most people start with?
So we have a kind of a general catch-all, and it's our wellness bag. It's most popular because it fills a lot of non-specific needs. It's just a liter of fluid with all the electrolytes, potassium, sodium, magnesium, as well as a banana bag, the bright neon yellow bag full of B vitamins that everybody likes, vitamin C, zinc, as well as some other magnesium in there. And it's good for just the general dehydration patient. There's no medications. There's no specific nausea, headache, indigestion, all that stuff that we can also add into bags. There's no antioxidants. That's by far our most common. And most people start there, get familiar with our services, and then we kind of, as we get to know you, we create your custom bag, things that you like. Well, we know that person A likes a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and you kind of really get a customized product working with us enough.
I know that there are several wedding vendors that are doing IVs on a regular basis now. When they're working at 12, 14, 16-hour wedding days, especially like June, July, and August, and you have them back to back, you need them during the week.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you're like me, I get busy doing something and I look up and it's 4 hours later and I haven't touched a bottle of water.
Yeah, exactly. Some people pre-schedule their appointments, and then they can also just call and be like, hey, can you come today, tomorrow?
Absolutely. Pre-scheduling is always the easiest. I can always guarantee you something when you schedule out, but things like illness doesn't come pre-scheduled. So events and large groups especially, pre-booking is the best way to go. But we have same day, same morning appointments all the time. We have a few nurses that work for us that are local in Lexington, as well as the Campbellsville area, and they're phenomenal. They're great. They're absolutely amazing that we can utilize based on location and get them to your house quick. We have a pretty good system in place.
Obviously, we're here to talk about weddings today and how couples can use them. Is it something that you would recommend if they've never done an IV before, maybe start like a month out, 2 weeks out, just to kind of get ready for the day, especially if it's a summer wedding in a barn? Would you prepare them different than a bride inside a venue?
Absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head of always test something. We don't want to change anything on our wedding day, right? And see how you feel, how you like it, if you don't like it. When you schedule a wedding with us, my wife, who is phenomenal, that sort of thing, contacts you and creates a custom day before, day after, day of plan. Because every wedding is unique. Every bride, groom is unique, and they have unique needs. And so what works best for you? Some people want it the day before because the rehearsal dinner was a little rough. Some people want it the day of because we can offer things like a beauty bag full of biotin, collagen, those sort of deals. Some people just want it the day after because they want to wake up on their first day of marriage and not feel bad. And anything in between. We had a wedding back in October that we did some day after IVs of, and then it was the day of the wedding, and we got a call from the groom who said, one of my groomsmen has come down with a stomach bug. What can you do? And so I hopped in the car, drove into Lexington, met them and gave him an IV and some nausea medication, and I got him through the wedding. He had a very rough night that night. Can't fix everything, but he was able to be present, be a groomsman, and we kind of let them have that memory.
What are your thoughts on a bridal party doing it like the morning of the wedding, like when all the bridesmaids are there getting ready, the guys have been out to play golf, they've all come back in, it's time for the wedding day? Is that something you would recommend?
Very common. Very, very common. We probably, other than the day after, the bridal party day of is what we book most.
Okay.
And we, wherever you're getting ready, wherever that whole thing is going on, we go to you, and you get to sit there, have your hair done, get your makeup done, have some champagne with everybody, and we can work around you and get you hydrated, get you feeling great. You've probably been, running around for the past couple of days as it is. And then in those situations, like I said, we like to give biotin and collagen for that healthy glow, antioxidants. Something we do that we don't really advertise much is when you book wedding parties with us, we love to give away gifts to the bride and groom, and we always throw in some extra goodies in there and really get you feeling the best on your wedding day. It's a very important day, and we want you to feel your best as well.
As I was preparing for the podcast, I was thinking about how, on the wedding day, the couple goes morning to night, all day long. And then I always recommend leaving a day in between the wedding day and leaving for the honeymoon. And that day in between would be a great time to get an IV.
Absolutely.
Just before you get ready to hop on a flight, especially if it's going to be a long one.
Oh, The nothing worse than not feeling great and getting on a potentially very long flight.
We've talked about how it can help the stomach bug. There's also the migraine buster.
Yes, absolutely. We modeled that bag when we made it off of UK's migraine clinic. They have an after-hours clinic, and it's a pretty standard concoction of things with Toradol for the headache, which is just a very high potency anti-inflammatory. It's an NSAID, just like ibuprofen. We can give some Zofran if you're nauseous. Magnesium as a smooth muscle relaxer really helps just calm everything down. Fluids for being hydrated, and it's exactly what UK gives, and so if good enough for them from their doctors, it probably works pretty well. It's very, very popular with our clients. That's, as you kind of alluded to earlier, you don't get to plan that one ahead of time, and we get that. And so if you go onto our website, the big words of take back your day is written, and that's what it's for. Is you wake up at 8 a.m. with a headache. We have clients that have cluster headaches and visual migraines where they lose their vision for a while. And if we can give them back their afternoon, give them back their Saturday, they can go back to work in the second half of the day. That's a pretty important thing to give back.
And if you're listening to this, you have either had migraines your life or you've never had one at all.
Absolutely.
I have had them since I was probably in 7th grade. I swear they're hereditary. Everybody on my dad's side of the family has them. My mother does not understand when I have a headache. She just doesn't get it. Whereas my dad's side of the family, we can look at each other and know. And so I'm surprised that I did not know about UK's head migraine clinic. I had no idea how I missed that.
I think you have to get in through their neurology program to see there. Yeah, gotcha. Kind of not an open doors sort of deal.
And so I had actually checked through another IV hydration company. It's probably been a year and a half ago. And my headaches and migraines always get worse with the weather.
Sure.
Kentucky has a lot to do with mine.
Yeah.
And so whenever I checked on it, she had me fill out some paperwork, and I had put that I had a shellfish allergy.
Okay.
And she actually recommended that I not get it done. I don't remember now the reasoning for that, but she said that was one of the things she would recommend that I not do because of that.
Yeah. So we also obviously have a very extensive health history when we do these IVs with people. Shellfish allergies are okay. There are 2 things that we can't give you. We use a very special kind of magnesium chloride. Most people use magnesium sulfate, and that is where people with sulfa allergies can get into some trouble. And so we kind of took the extra step and found the alternative for that sort of thing. Shellfish allergies, we can absolutely work around. We have alternatives for you. Every chart that comes through our way is reviewed by our doctor. It's not just, me reading them. It's someone much smarter than me. And she's fantastic. Dr. Donna Stanton is an owner in our company as well. And she's just top notch.
And I actually really appreciated her just being honest with me at that point.
So,
and then talking about migraines in Kentucky in general, everybody here has allergies and sinuses.
Yes.
What do you have any recommendations or options to help that?
So that would fall back under our general wellness bag, because while we can't fix your allergies, we can't fix your chronic sinusitis or whatever may be ailing you. What we can do is get you hydrated and get you the fluids to thin everything out, because especially a lot of your allergy or your cold medication will dehydrate you a lot, dry you up real bad. And then we can give you the vitamins, the minerals, the electrolytes to help you fight your own battle. Kind of equip you the best you can to win that fight, because it is awful. There's nothing worse than having a stuffy nose and can't breathe and can't talk. So
it sounds like this has all been studied and it's safe for everyone. Is it safe for like teenagers, or is there an age range that you recommend starting it?
We don't perform any IVs on anyone younger than 14. Mostly that's where our insurance stops. Okay. I have no interest in treating much younger than that. And we have a lot of high school to college athletes that we treat. A particular case is our nurse in Campbellsville has built a really good relationship with a high school and travel baseball player who's got Osgood-Schlatters in his knees. It's really bad growing pains, really bad swelling, and we treat them when he's got a double header or a tournament with some fluids and some anti-inflammatories, and they just rave about how effective that is, getting him through the long weekends until he eventually outgrows those growing pains.
And I know that the one thing everybody is wondering right now is pricing.
Yeah.
I know that is hard to give a price for everything. Do you have just like a starting price or a price that they can keep in mind if they're budgeting to do this for their wedding day?
Absolutely. So The thing with us versus every other company that we've encountered is we customize everything for you. We don't buy the one size fits all, and therefore we can scale up and scale down to fit exactly what you need. If I were to give a price out for people to start getting in their head, and we can build up or down from there, about $100 a person. We can start, when we start adding biotin and collagen, that price would obviously increase. But one thing to think about too is we have discounts for groups. So if you are booking for you versus your wedding party, we may start canceling out. We drop the price a little bit for the group while we start adding some things in. As far as our end, it's just as easy to do 5 or 6 people in a room as it does one. You're all sitting there hanging out. And so something to think about as well is we accept HSA and FSA cards. So if you have a health savings or a flexible spending account, that is absolutely something we can take into account as well.
So this is going to be a dumb question because I'm self-employed, so I do not have that luxury.
Sure.
So say the bride has that, can it only be used for her service, or could it be used toward like the bridesmaid services too?
Technically, according to your card, it should be used for you.
Okay, that's what
should be used for you.
I was just going to ask.
Yes.
Yeah.
It will swipe the same, but I don't, again, not condoning that.
Absolutely. And then you do offer memberships if this is something that somebody wants to do on a regular basis, especially like leading up to the wedding to get prepared through all the events.
Yeah, so we've got enough clients, and it's a very recent rollout for us. We're a pretty new company, that we've had enough people that enjoy their monthly IV as it is. Again, just that general wellness bag or whatever they might be ailing them that month. And so we've offered a subscription and a membership program. And basically, if it gets you at one IV a month, that's the price of the subscription. And it will be cheaper than buying it once a month every month. If you know that you're going to be that person that gets them frequently, gets that one migraine a month, gets that stomach bug in the winter. The nice part about it is once you have that membership and you get a migraine in January and the stomach bug in February, all covered. And then from there, you get some extra benefits of priority booking. So if we're just booked up for the day, one slot left, that goes to our members first, just for some loyalty. We do some rewards points. So you build up enough of those and we can get some free goodies in your next IV, as well as bring a friend and get a discount for that. So it makes, giving that gift a little bit easier as well when you can get some significant discounts that way.
Whenever, or a lot of bridesmaids and groomsmen are traveling for the bachelorette parties. They're going to Vegas, they're going to Arizona, they're going to Miami. And I see them doing a lot of IV services on the bachelor or bachelorette parties.
Yes.
Is there something that, like, when they're going into these cities where they don't know anybody and they literally go to Google and probably pull up 3 options and whoever responds back first is the one they're going to book? Is there anything that they should be looking for when they're booking those services, like in other cities?
So reading through sometimes the medical label is difficult. Without knowing what you're looking for, it's very easy to, most importantly, get somewhere that may not be the safest, because this is, medical care and your safety is a priority. But 2, maybe getting an inferior, underdosed product that's not going to help you at all. Certain vitamins, minerals, and medications need to be taken in a certain amount. So as far as picking a company or a group outside of Lexington, that's not me. Unfortunately, I can't recommend. Price. You're going to pay more for a reputable company, as well as the company that's got 500 reviews. They're probably doing something right, as opposed to the one that has a broken Facebook page and they just don't seem that reputable. But as with anything, I think you get what you pay for to an extent, until you start hitting the very, very high-end things. But it's very hard to read through a medical label without someone to navigate that. And sometimes that's not even transparent on their end. Most people don't care how many milligrams of Zofran is in their hangover bag. They just want it in there. But if it's clinically underdosed, it's not going to help you anyway.
And hypothetically speaking, if somebody is scared of the needle, do you have anything to calm their nerves as they're getting this?
Just some charm and charisma. We have a lot of people who I wouldn't say are needle phobic, but are apprehensive. We have some clients that will faint every time, and they know they are, and they keep booking with us. We're not a hospital. We're not looking to put large IVs that you have no need for in our setting. all myself and our nurses that we employ are top notch. They'll talk you through everything. They'll give you the countdown. We got some tricks and tips to get your mind off of it. I would say every client we've had that's been apprehensive is nervous. They're tensed up. And then once it's done, they say, oh, that wasn't a big deal. But we do have a few clients that will pass out, and they say, hey, I'm going to pass out. Just keep doing your thing, which is a terrifying thing to hear. But I take their word for it. But most people, once they get that first treatment, it's like this is not like the emergency care that I've had in the past or the ICU care that I've had in the past. That is rough and it's fast because those people are doing a job to a high level. It's in your home. It's made for comfort. It's not made for fast, efficient, anything like that.
And then I also noticed on your website that you offer Lipo B and Lipo C.
Yes.
I have seen those pop up everywhere lately. Tell me a little bit about what those are and what the difference is.
So those can come in very cool, very sexy names that people like to sell, like MICC burn shots, and that's one I've seen a lot of. Essentially, it's just a combination of B vitamins and amino acids that are designed to optimize A, well-being, and B, fat loss. That's the vast majority of what we sell it for is fat loss. Things like L-carnitine, which is designed to release fat from the fat cell, from the adipose tissue. B12 is a massive staple in both of those. That's just designed to get you feeling better. We need B12 for everything, and a lot of people are B12 deficient and just don't know it. Most people are running around at 100 miles an hour, and they think, well, I'm just tired. Well, you may have some B12 deficiency. We had one client who had her labs tested, and she was severely low. We did twice a week injections with her, got her actually above what she needed to be when she followed up. We dropped it back to once every 2 weeks, and she's been great ever since. She has a subscription plan to those shots as well, which is something we offer. And so it's sold as a weight loss product, but a lot of people take it just for their well-being. Some people report better sleep. Methionine, which is the M in MICC, it is used to help detox the liver. And a lot of people report that they sleep better and then things of that. Those are very, very popular among our clients.
And is that something you go to them to do those shots, like individual shots as well?
So we have one of two ways to do it. We can come to you every week. Those are given once a week. It's just a quick little shot in the arm, like a flu shot, but it's less fluid than a flu shot. It's very, very easy. We can come to you once a week, and there is a fee for us to come to you. What most everybody does, I would say 95% of everybody, we teach you to self-inject at home, or we teach a spouse to do it for you. No different than just giving a little shot in the arm or the leg or the buttock, and it's super easy. And people who are needle phobic, once or twice, and they're like, oh, this is not a big deal. That saves people money. It's on their schedule. They don't have to call me to come to their house and line my crazy schedule up with theirs. So we teach you, we come to your house for the first visit, teach you how to do it, kind of a see one, do one, teach one type deal. And most people do very, very well with that.
You also offer semaglutide.
Yes.
Which that would be a whole different podcast in itself. That is something that definitely crosses a lot of couples' minds as they are in the planning process.
We're a lot more versatile than people think we are. Okay. We can, if you think we might be of service, call us. Okay. And we can figure out a plan for you. One of my favorite things about this business is talking with people and fixing a problem that they thought was just part of it. And it's not. It's actually, we have a whole solution for that and can take it off your mind. Your wedding day, I know we're here talking about weddings mostly, there's a million things going on. And if we can take away one or two of those, that's a huge win for us. We've been, after we do some of these weddings, we've been invited to weddings afterward. And you were discussing the semaglutide earlier. We recently just got back from Florida, my wife and I. We had a bride that used that leading up to her wedding, and she dropped 45 pounds leading up to her wedding. Extremely happy. We went out to their wedding. It was beautiful. We're very thankful for that. But we differ from most companies in regards to that as well, because our plan is to not keep you on it. I don't want you on it. I want to get you to a goal, and then we have resources and partners that we work with to transition you off the medication and into a exercise regimen, because that's the ultimate goal for everybody. But if semaglutide is what you need to get you to a point where you're seeing the progress, you're seeing the results, and forward momentum is carrying you through, I think that's a great use for that. We don't ever recommend people being on it long term. Some of these companies will just keep prescribing it to you without regard to your health. And that's not something to take lightly. For us to even prescribe it, you have to meet our doctor. We can do that over Zoom. It's a very quick process. And we care about your long-term health. And so I would much rather have someone on that product for a short period of time, get great results, come off of it, and then sing our praises versus someone who's on it with no hope of ever coming off. We're here for health. We're here for wellness. And I think we'd be doing a massive disservice to falsely advertise that medication and what it can be used for.
Okay. And you mentioned in that conversation that people can call you. Is that the best way to reach out? Email, call, social media?
Yes, all of it.
Okay.
If you go to our website, you can text us, you can call us. It goes to my phone personally through a third-party number. You can shoot us an email. It's right on the website with a clickable link, or reach us out on social media. You'll be talking to me or my wife, one of the two, and we'll get back to you pretty quick. This is our home business. This is our baby. It wouldn't be uncommon for someone to reach out at 11 o'clock at night, and I reach back out.
Yeah, I get that completely. And it's amazing how many people just reach out via text now.
Sure.
And I'm like, it just blows my mind that this is so normal now. So
I was texting before I got here with a client. Most people prefer that.
It's just so much easier.
They're at dinner, they're at lunch, they're doing 1,000 other things, and they don't want to talk to somebody. They don't want to talk to an automated message. Oh gosh, that's the worst. So yeah, text is fine by me.
Well, thank you so much for joining me and shedding some light on this industry. Like I said, I still feel like it's a little new to the Lexington area, but definitely growing and definitely something that couples should consider going into a busy weekend. Yeah.
Call us. Talking's free. We won't charge you a bit to see if we can help you. If IV therapy and support on your wedding day before and after is something that you need, we'd love to be the ones to do it. We take a lot of joy in that as well.
For more information about Simply Love Studio or to schedule your wedding consultation, go to simplylovestudio.com.